Real business, real people, real stories. Welcome to Real Business Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Benenati. Welcome to episode 106. With a bachelor's degree in environmental science and working for Seaworld, Edgar decided to leave all that behind and follow his heart, passion, and desire for a venture into the casino entertainment industry. It cost him his marriage, amongst other things. Always betting on himself and his dream, today Edgar shares his story with us. Let's listen. A blast from the past. Edgar Comellas. How are you, bud?
Señor Benenati, ¿cómo estamos? I am doing
We're
great.
Good. We're good.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah.
I'm fixing this thing.
How long has it been?
Man, it's been what? I mean, we've known each other 15 years, but I think I haven't seen you since I lived with like LA Fitness. I remember we used to play racquetball.
Yeah. Which I still do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But that I see you, I would say, man, probably a good 6 years, 7 years since I seen you in person.
We met back, you were actually my third or fourth client back in 2005.
Yeah, my first house I bought, my cousin Karen. Remember Karen?
Yeah,
Karen?
of course.
She was the one that recommended me to you guys and everything else. A young kid, first house, didn't know, 23 years old, not knowing what he was doing.
That was an experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
There was a funny story there.
No, yeah, there's a good story there. But I will tell you that Mr. Benenati took very good care of me.
Yeah. Actually made no commission on that deal.
That's right. That's how you took good care of me.
I took care of you, but you took care of me back.
That's
I mean,
right.
you referred to me like, 3-4 clients after that. And yeah, it worked out.
It always worked out. Pay forward.
Edgar Comellas. He's
Tell
the
me.
owner of Seaworld Entertainment.
Yeah, Aces Wild Entertainment. So we are a casino event company. So what we do is we bring you the the casino tables for your event. So you're having a corporate event or a house party or something like that. I'll bring you those tables and that entertainment.
Have you done weddings?
We do weddings. I've done a couple bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
And the cocktail reception hours. You know, it's also a fun thing. It breaks up the atmosphere. It gives people something to do. And perhaps you can't take your whole family to Vegas for a wedding. But, we can bring Vegas to you at your location.
Great slogan. I like that.
Yeah, all right.
So tell us a little bit about how you got yourself into this. What got you into, because you used to work for Seaworld.
Yeah, I used to work for Seaworld, the Orlando Science Center. I have an environmental studies or environmental science degree. Mm-hmm. So I, in 2013, decided to leave it all behind after messing around with it a little bit in the garage. And I had 1 or 2 tables, renting them off Craigslist. I decided to stop all and start working and developing a business around casino rentals.
So you dropped everything? I mean, you just left your job and head on like full force on this?
Yeah, a good paying job, good money, benefits, everything else, your career, if you will, the track that you're going. I just decided to leave it all in the hopes of being more creative. Mm-hmm. And knowing more about what I want and how to actually run a business is something that, a lot of people, it's like if you eat every day, but you want to be a farmer because you want to know what it really takes to grow your food.
Do you have more passion for your degree and what you were doing, or do you have more passion for the casino entertainment business?
So I will say,
or the fact of being,
or the business owner.
Yeah, a business owner.
I would say I got more passion for the business owner side because I can create a business or create something around my knowledge that I got through my schools or schooling, my education. So you know what I mean. So I can make a business to, fulfill my educational knowledge or the things that I study for.
So you've been doing this for 7, 8, 9 years?
Yeah, 7 years. 7 years, I say that's been an official LLC. 8, 9 years that, under the table, renting it, messing around, digging around with the concept beforehand.
So tell us a little bit about what were your initial struggles to get it off the ground, to get the company going?
So I still, when I say that I quit the job or that I stopped everything, it means that I stopped my stable 9 to 5 job. I had to pick up side things and jobs throughout the first couple of years of the business. Started, I did Uber for a little bit, Uber and Lyft. When it first came out, I worked at an environmental science lab where we did extraction of chemicals and things like that, just to on the night shift essentially, just to bring in a little bit of that
Supplement the income.
supplement income while the business is running and the business is making money and it's working, but it has to be reinvested in. There's not enough money coming
to take
into
out
it
to pay
to
yourself
take
a
out
salary.
myself, yeah.
So you were sacrificing that side.
Yeah, sacrifice a lot of time, if you will, your personal time to do things on your own, sleep. Sacrifice my nice car. I sold my nice sports car and I got a pickup truck, so that I can move things around. Actually, the business requires a truck, so let me get a pickup truck and not have a little car.
So, when was your biggest breakthrough? Meaning, when did you really get to the point of not having to do those side jobs and start making money?
So I will say about 5 years ago, 5 years into the business, about 2 years ago, is when I really started, when I said, okay, you know what, now this is self-sufficient. It can support me. I don't need any other brace or any other help. Events were coming in, the fruits of the labor, if you will, the planting, the fruits of the tree were coming out in terms that large events were booking events that had some meat to them, some actual bulk and some profit to them were actually starting to book, meaning that it didn't all need to go to the business. It could actually go to help pay for some staff and myself as well.
So, have you, for this question, which is success, and success for everyone is different, right? Do you think you have reached success with your business?
I don't think I've reached success, because once you reach success, you become complacent because you think that you made it. It's if you get the really good body, then if you stop actually doing the work for it, the body goes away. So at times people think like, oh, I reached success, I made it. Then you sit on your laurels and then you leave behind. For me, success is independence, freedom to make some decisions and see them happen, and being able to, make a mistake and fall. If that's just, build something, see if it works. And if it does, great, that's successful. And if it doesn't, you succeeded at failing.
So you're in an ongoing search for success.
Yeah, it's a continuous process. It's a working process that you always have to keep going and learning.
And with success comes a lot of failures, a lot of struggles, a lot of regrets. Is there anything you regret that you've done or that happened to get to this point?
So I would say a regret would be not working better with my ex-wife at the time. It's not that I miss her or I regret, getting divorced. It's just it was a rough time. A lot of bad things, a lot of collateral damage happened in this struggle of not being able to speak to my partner at the time, actually see the real struggles of what a business is, and then
was it a financial stress on the relationship?
Yeah, it's a financial stress, like I talked about before. The time issues were a thing is the time that you spend trying to build a business, at night or during the day, the focus that you put on it puts a toll on a relationship, and not being able to have a conversation with your partner, a real conversation with your partner ahead of time, if you're going to dive into this, or when I did at the time, that's something I regret, that I wasn't able to have.
Was she
do that?
Was she a partner with you in the business?
No, she was just, in agreement in terms of like, oh yeah, you should do this. Not like, oh, we're going to go in at 50-50 or we're going to help as well. So it's not a regret of I regret the relationship ending, but I regret that we didn't go about it in a better way, or a more informed way, or more adult way, or not be able to see
Was she
all of it.
Was she a support to you?
She was supportful at some point, but at the end of the day, it was too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
And I asked not because I want to get it into
Yeah.
to your personal, but because it's important for a lot of people thinking of, starting their own business, leaving their 9 to 5, and they have a family or a marriage or a relationship, and these are things they have to kind of weigh out and figure out. Listen, we're going to come with hard times, and it's easy to be together when everything is fine and dandy and everything is good, right? But
Yep.
when things get hard, like you said, you had to get rid of your car. You were driving a
A truck.
beat up truck, and your ego disappears. It goes to side, and you're really working late hours, putting more hours really on your business than you were working from a 9 to 5. It's something a lot of people have to really think about.
It is, and you need to, if you're going with it with a partner, you have to have that conversation with them and know what are the real struggles. Everybody likes to see, nobody understands everybody likes to see the end result, and nobody understands the struggles that happen in between them, the dieting before and the workouts before you get the really good bod.
So if you have to attribute your success to something, to a routine, a habit, or something you've done, or a skill you have, what would it be?
I would say learning. Learning things, keeping in the learning aspect. So growing, yeah, learning more information. Never just be like, okay, I know this. I know everything about real estate, or I know everything about SEO. I know everything about marketing. No, you don't. Even right now, nobody knew everything about video conferencing and teleconferencing and doing these kind of Zoom calls that we're doing, stuff like that. So you always have to keep learning and more, whether it's actually buying, going to school, or buying a course, or getting your certification, or spending 40 minutes on a YouTube video that teaches you a new skill, or perfects a new hobby, or makes you a little bit better at cooking, let's say.
So what have you been doing on this downtime?
So for me, I've been learning a little bit more about 360 video editing. It's a new, it's a fun concept. I've always been into the drone videography as well, so I've been learning how to incorporate those two things more into just my travels and my fun things that I do, my daily lives, my
you have an interesting hobby, which is the
one wheel.
The one wheel, huh?
Yes, the one wheel. Woo, one wheel Orlando. Yeah, so for those of you that might not know, one wheel is like a skateboard with literally one wheel that you balance on, and it goes 16, 18 miles an hour. It goes for 20 miles in a charge at times. And yeah, you can go off road. You can go on the road.
I've seen him. I follow this guy on Instagram and YouTube. You should look into it, because if you like filming, drone, and all that, his name is Peter McKinnon. He's out of Canada. So he's a filmmaker, vlogger, and he rides these one-wheelers. It's crazy. Look into him. I'll send you the link.
Nice. It's a fun thing. It's a fun thing that I do, because I used to surf and then a little bit of skateboarding, and now I have my electric, way of moving around.
So what you said learning. Is there any books that you recommend? Some books that you go to a couple times a year? Or what's your latest book you're reading?
So for me is I actually don't like physically reading the book, so I got the Audible thing, which is great. I love Audible.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, you listen in the car. On the way here, I was listening a little bit of the book. Right now, the one that's on deck is How to Hide an Empire. It's a very interesting book about how the United States was, growing their empire through the Pacific and through the Caribbean before World War II, during World War I, and just how you think of the United States as the logo map, or the map that we see like in every little thing, but there's so much more territories and people, and it encompasses such a large, greater area in the world that a lot of people don't know that history. So How to Hide an Empire is one thing that I'm reading right now. Other books that I really like is like Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers, the Michelle Obama book. There's the real good one there, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yes, I've seen.
It's a great book, and that I don't want to give you spoil the book, but at the end of the day, do not give a fuck. You have to give a fuck about something. You know, to not
do.
care about everything. You have to care about one thing, so you don't care about anything else.
Yes.
And it's a very interesting book, and it's fun.
Yeah,
you know?
his perspective is very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So books go. The hobby of books and listening to books goes along with the whole learning aspect.
So what's some of your routines that you stick to? I know you do the one wheeler.
Yeah.
You read your books. What do you do in the
I would
morning?
say every day. Well, I would say at least 5 to 6 days a week. I box. I go to Title Boxing up in Winter Park. It's a boxing club. You know, they got classes and all that. But I've been doing that for about 4.5, 5 years, where I punch a bag, and it gets me. I allow myself that 1 hour a day to do not think of anything else and just zone out.
Do you know what? That's a form of actually meditation.
Yeah.
So you're really just blanking out and just being present with that bag and just punching away.
Yeah, at times I'll catch myself in between like a combo, and I'm like, I gotta come to Robert's show. It's like, nope, punch,
keep punching.
And I really just like punch and just like like this, and it's kind of like, oh, it's so brutalistic or like animalistic. No, but it really gives you when you finish with it, you're like, all right, what do I gotta do today?
It's a form of cardio and exercise. You know, it's burning calories.
Whatever
I do
it is.
I do it at the gym. Well, I haven't been in the gym for about 40 days, but
yeah. But you know, just having something where you blank out and that's the only thing you think about, it's a very good form of self-care, whether it's yoga, meditation, boxing, running, you know, that runner's high that people talk about. I never had it because I can't run. I don't like running. So
yeah, me neither. It hurts my ankles, my knees, my hips,
it hurts
everything.
my soul.
Yeah. So tell me a funny story. Tell me something crazy that's happened at one of your events.
All right. This is a real true story. I taught and I sat with Tiger Woods for about an hour and a half teaching him how to play craps, and that man could not get it. Like next to me, just going over the roles, the betting strategies, what's happening, you know, the fluid, the game of craps. And he didn't get it.
He couldn't get it?
He went and played poker. And of course, I made all kinds of jokes. You know, at the time, it's like, oh, you want to make this shot, you can do this, you get 300 something yards.
But you can't.
But you can't remember that a 5, you know, that a 5 pays 2 to 3 and this pays that and this is the other.
Was he cool?
Oh, yeah. He was every person that I always met that's a quote unquote celebrity has always been very nice. And it's just a thing of, you treat an individual the same way that you would treat somebody else. You don't gawk all over them. He was a great sport. He laughed. People, you know, of course, kind of go along with the vibe of the thing, because that's one thing at the casino table, and I love dealing craps. It's a thing that you are in charge of these 12, 18 rowdy people, and there's this beast happening. But at the end of the day, you're the person with that stick, and you're in charge.
Yeah.
And everybody listens to you. So there's something about that controlling this chaos that's actually kind of fun as a dealer as well.
That's one of my favorite games, actually, is craps.
Yeah, right. It's just insane.
And when the table's hot and people having fun, man, it's fun.
It is, and and even if you lose, it's like
you had a great time regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start over again. You know, it's fun.
So, from all the celebrities, who was your favorite? Let's say
in meeting a celebrity,
like this guy or this girl was really cool. This is, you know.
I mean, I would say when I worked at Universal, at SeaWorld, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith was a very nice man. I'll say I met him. But at Aces Wild, working for Aces Wild.
Yeah, in the casino, with your business.
In the casino business, actually doing my things. Carrot Top was actually very fun.
Yeah, I've seen him around. Yeah,
yeah, it was an event in Winter Park. You know, and
he's always just hanging around there somewhere. Yeah,
I just run into all kinds of crazy characters. There's the guy that's a famous Trump impersonator. He's been in a couple of our events as well. And as a person, he's a really fun individual. And then you see him doing his Trump impersonation and, you know, kind of goofiness, and it's a character to see as well.
If you had to tell someone that is thinking of starting their own business, leaving their 9 to 5, a stay-at-home mom that wants to do something, she has a certain skill, and she wants to get it done, what would be your advice if you only had, let's say, a billboard and you only had a few words? What would it be?
Faye, define your audience. So you have a product. Yes, you realize that you are selling product A or thing A or service A. Now, who's actually going to use that regularly? Who's going to be your real client? You will have outliers of individuals that will use your product or use the service or find out about it through word of mouth. But one of the fallacies that a lot of business owners fall in is that everybody's going to use my product and I can sell to everybody and everybody can use this. And one of my favorite Shark Tank things that Mark Cuban says is, we hate when you come in. It's like, if we can get 1% of this $20 billion market, then that's how much. It's like, yeah, no, you can't just. It's the same mentality. If I throw my fishing line out in the sea, I might catch a whale. It's like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. Yeah, you're going in with the wrong equipment.
All right, so then knowing your audience, knowing your target, which is very important. Knowing, because a lot of people start their business just talking about passion. I have a passion for catching whales, right? But they don't even know where to look at, or so interesting.
It's a passion. A lot of people confuse passion with, I'll say it's not envy, but we're just like, oh, that looks easy, I'm like, how many people buy houses every day? If I become a realtor and one person buys a house, and if I sell one house a month, that's 12 houses, and that make this much money. And you start rationalizing just simpleness and other people. You start rationalizing other people's success, and you think it's easy, without actually seeing what is the actual process for that success.
Great point.
Yeah.
Great point. A lot of people come into the real estate business, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to make all this commission, and then 6 months into it, they realize this is not for me. I can't do this.
Yeah. How long does it take to sell a house in reality? Even if they buy it in 2 days, you still have a long time and process and things that can go wrong.
Yeah, the process usually 30 to 45 days.
Yeah, so there's more to that than just showing a pretty house, right? And there's more to than just showing an event for me.
Edgar, where you want to take your company to now? What's your goal?
Actually, my goal is to, I was saying that's a 5-year plan, start a franchise model where we're already starting to provide services in other cities through our partners. But then an individual wants to come in and says, yeah, I do have a small amount of money or some knowledge or that drive or that want to do something. I just don't know what. So we can provide you a set goal, a set business model, something similar to a franchise.
Like a startup kit?
Like a startup kit where here's a way that you can do events at whatever city, location, state you might be at, territory, might be, where at a low cost you can come in, you can start something, and you have somebody and individuals like myself that have gone through the process, can steer you the right direction, and hopefully not have you waste your money, and develop the brand. And at the end of the day, that's the big goal, is develop the brand of a casino event company. Who are the people that do these events? Well, then you quickly will know, oh yeah, Ace is Wild. There's the local one that we have. Same thing that you think about arrangements. You want to send edible arrangements? Oh yeah, the one that's down there in the plaza. I know to go to that one. So
your business is a very, I would say, B2B type of business, right?
Yeah, right now.
You think social media, Facebook, Instagram has helped? I mean, it always helps, but is that your main source of business, or is it some other kind of networking, or really meeting these owners and shaking hands and going up to them? So which one is it for you that you think that really has put you out? I mean, put you out there, obviously, with photography and videos is social media. But really, what's the source of your B2B?
So I will say, really, it is when you look at, I'll say, 30% people like the face-to-face thing, and from that is a good 40% of the social media site. You look at who are the individuals that are making decisions, you know, and doing things in your business, in your industry. And sorry to say, they keep getting, they keep getting younger. We keep getting older, they keep getting younger. Every year, there's a new event planner that graduates from the Rosen College. And that event planner is in the latest social media platform. And that's how they get their news, and that's how they get their information. And being able to, quote unquote, appeal and talk to and know how to market to that millennial clientele, that new wave of people that consume media, is very important. So I would say a good 40 to 50% of the traffic comes to, and the eyes come to social media, and then they're funneled into the website and properly managed and rebrand or retargeted.
Retarget.
Yeah.
How many employees do you have?
So we have over 80 casino dealers that we use, and we use some individuals that's all they do, or they're realtor.
Side job.
Yeah, they're a realtor during the day, and at night, they still like to play cards, so they start like to deal cards. So there's like a second job or a side income for them.
All right. For those watching, because we go on the podcast and then we got YouTube. Tell us a little bit about that mustache and the beard.
So the mustache started it started with a Halloween costume, and it was a lot shorter, like a little small little thing. And then I kept it. I went to a couple networking events, and people started recognizing me or remembering me as the mustache guy. And it just became a brand. It became my look. It became something where people know me as the guy with the mustache. You go around Orlando, it's like, oh yeah, the Orlando mustache, or the Face of City. I was the 2019 Face of City for the Orlando City soccer team with my painted beard, and people recognize me because of my facial hair. And then I parlay that as my personal brand, as the Orlando Mustache on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere.
You have a page, right?
I have a page. I have close to 5,000 followers that follow my beard antics and things. Yeah, I know. I have companies that send me products, beard products, beard straightener. I have a great beard straightener that I use, like a hot beard straightener.
Get out.
Yeah, man.
I was thinking of growing it a little fuller, but I got patches, and it just doesn't grow.
I'll tell you, the problem is that you start getting really white hairs, and you're like, oh, you start noticing them more. So,
and I'm starting to get them.
Yeah, see?
I'm much older than you. So, what else? Where can people find you if they're looking to hire your services? Aces Wild Entertainment.
Yeah, so you can find us at Aces Wild Entertainment or Aces Wild Entertainment on any platform, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, even a Tumblr from back in the day. We still have that. YouTube. But you can also just Google, find casino parties in Orlando Casino Rentals, and we are one of your first top choices that pops up there. So something that we pride ourselves, going back to the social media thing, is everything that we have up there in our internet is real. It's real pictures.
All the photos, all the videos,
it's all real stuff, real reviews, real pictures, real things you'll see what you're actually gonna get, not some stock image of people pretending to have fun.
How much is the competition here in Orlando for you? How many companies that do this casino?
In the state of Florida, there's around 8 of us. In Orlando, there's really about 3 players, myself being included in that. And the thing is that we actually work together. I work with some of my quote-unquote competition, if you will. At times, I need more tables, or they need our tables. They can't staff it. So
you kind of partner up, collaborate?
Yeah, we collaborate. Let's say they have multiple events, and someone hits them up, someone contacts them for a small 2-table party. They cannot fulfill it because their hands are too tied, so they'll pass it on to me. In the same way, might have some other events, and a client reaches out to me, and vice versa. I can't fulfill it, or I don't have the staff. I pass it on to them. So it's a quid pro quo of ensuring that the experience of a casino party is at the forefront, and not who's providing the service.
I was going to ask you this. So they refer it to you. You go to that event, So this person was looking for, ABC Casino. You go with your logo.
Yeah, so we can go
versus
with our logo.
Having their logo because they were the one reached.
Yeah, it's something where we will talk to the client. It's like, hey, for example, in Texas, is one of the companies that we use. We refer them out to them. It's like, well, we'll handle all of your process. We'll talk to you. We'll figure out the event. We will then relay all this information over to the casino party, and one of our casino partners will provide you all the services. For the most part, our things are not labeled that much. It's not logos all over everything. It's not tacky, if you will. It's not like the casino tables have their logos like in Vegas. They're just nice, simple, I would say plain, but I'm talking about across the board white labeled tables. So that
keeps it fair.
Yeah, it keeps it fair. And this way, everybody, we can promote, like I said again, promote the aspect of the idea of a casino party, regardless of who provides it.
So you were telling me, behind the mics before we got on, you mentioned something about one of your biggest opportunities. You had a big event about 2 years ago that kind of set you apart.
It was an event where it was a destination management company out of Oregon contacted us. You got to remember that a lot of companies do their spring meetings. You don't want to have it where it's snowing. You want to have it in Florida. So companies from north contact, companies down south to do their events. And when this company reached out to me, I was able to look back and see, like we were able to not only have the web presence and the SEO presence to reach out to that client and that client to say, hey, I'm going to reach out to those people. They look professional. But also we had the software, the staff, the knowledge, the interpersonal skills, the ability to communicate with this client and the equipment to be able to deal with them.
How big was the event?
This was a conference for 1,000 something people.
How many tables you had?
At the event itself, we have over 30 tables, plus DJs, plus like walking around. Talent. Like,
so you subcontract the rest, or you just concentrate on the casino side and they figure out the rest of the entertainment?
So we ourselves have the casino tables, and we will bring you the casino tables. But we will then ourselves bring you anything else that you need. So you want to have an event, you have all these ideas, you want to have talent, you want to have a DJ, you want to have food.
A tiger.
You want to have a tiger, or yes, I can get you a tiger or
an
exotic vehicle. Yeah. So you want to have anything rather than you going to 4 or 5 different individuals through us. You tell us your dream event, and we will put this on together. Yeah, we will do an event consultation, and we will go ahead and plan your event for you as well as part of the process.
I assume that because you're the founder, CEO, owner of Aces Wild Entertainment, you've covered most of the roles. So you've put on different hats as to running the business, doing the marketing. Tell me a little bit about that. And where do you now find yourself handling, and what have you delegated?
So, yeah, you have to, even when you get to the point that you can, let's say, hand things off, you have to be able to know what you're handing off so that you can make sure that it's being properly managed. For marketing purposes, like we talked before, I had to define my audience. I had to find out who is it that I'm really selling to, and who are the individuals that are using my services the most. So how can I approach them? How can I know SEO, for example?
How did you learn that? I mean, you come from a scientific side. How did you learn the marketing
SEO
side?
stuff and the marketing? I also, and through this process, I also got a master's. I have an MBA that I got while also working and starting the business and everything else. I went and got a master's to learn a little bit more about how to make the sausage, if you will. But the learning more about through YouTube and learning more through reading Reddit articles.
So self-taught?
Yeah, self-taught on not how to implement the marketing, but what is marketing, how marketing works, and how to reach your client. And once you reach the client, the process that person makes in the buying decision process, whether it's a bottle of water or it's a casino table. So I had to study that.
The psychology behind
the psychology of what is it. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm not selling you a blackjack table in a casino dealer. What I'm selling you is fun and environment. I'm selling you a feeling of
an emotion,
of fun and emotion. Yeah, that time that you had in Vegas, that emotion, that thrill of getting a card and hitting it big. That's what we're doing. So it was, how can you convey that? How can you switch that? How can you put that on paper, on video, on pictures? What messages do you use? What wording do you use? What avenues? What methods? So something like regular pen and paper magazine is not very conducive to show you what we do, but Instagram and YouTube is, because it's very visual, and you can have videos and you can have short clips and the excitement and be loud. So
it's crazy how everybody goes back to Facebook and Instagram. It's incredible. I don't know, where would we be, without Facebook and Instagram, and how did companies do it years ago without social media?
It is. I remember the MySpace days and logging into AOL. Remember, like, AOL was its own little self-contained environment, and you lived within AOL. And it's very interesting how we do business now. And now you look at it with TikTok, for example, popping up, and individuals, businesses,
using it. Yeah,
using it.
It's a different language.
Yeah, it's a different way of communicating
and a different niche. Age-wise,
Yeah, but it's the same idea of is age, but those people are still getting older, and they're still gonna buy a house. They're still gonna have a party. They're still gonna be part of the consumer circle.
You're right. You teach them now from a young age, and eventually, they'll have they'll acknowledge your existence.
Yeah, it's true.
Interesting. Well, Edgar, we've covered most of the questions I've had. Yeah, I just wanted to know your struggles. I know it was difficult. I know you went through a divorce, sold your car to buy a truck, a broken down, beat up truck to get around. Now you're doing good. So a lot of people would probably see you now and say, oh, he has it easy. It's an easy job. But, going through, telling that story of what you've been through is inspirational, motivational for a lot of people probably listening, thinking, this is what I want to do. This is the type of business I want to, launch. Should I do it? How should I do it? And kind of cover their bases and know that it's not impossible, but it's not easy. And they got to put in the time and the work.
It's like everything in life. Musicians, people with good bodies, people with good businesses or success in your eyes, don't get it overnight. It doesn't happen. Look at the Rolling Stones. They're still playing. They're still playing music. They're still playing guitar. They're still making songs. You still go. You still keep going, and you still keep practicing your craft, and you will you'll still be successful. You'll be more successful than you were yesterday, and you'll always continue to experience success if you keep practicing whatever craft or activity or hobby you're
going
doing.
at it. All right, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for sharing your story.
You a virtual handshake over here.
Yeah. And again, if you want to look into Ace Wild Entertainment, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Aces Wild Entertainment. You will find us there.
All right, so I hope to see you at your next event. I'll keep an eye,
Yeah, the next one is going to be the Real Business launch party.
Launch party, yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Take care, Robert. Take care, guys. Bye.
If you like the topic in today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on iTunes or visit Real Business Podcast for more information. Thank you. Until next week, stay real.